What's going on, guys, and welcome back to Yota Xpedition. We got the giveaway Tacoma in the shop again, and we are doing some more upgrades. If you missed the last video of upgrades, we put some new wheels, tires, and suspension on this thing, and then we took it back to the trail to put it to the test.
That's right, we got one of the really big things out of the way right out of the gate, and we're gonna be shifting gears into some lighting. On the cart in front of us, we have the suite of Morimoto XB options for the Tacoma. We got the XB V2 headlights. We have the XB taillights with the red lenses. We also have Morimoto's third brake light. This is one of the more unique options on the market, so we're really excited to get all this stuff installed.
Definitely looks cool. Hopefully the installation is worth the looks.
Yes, installing the third brake light is one of Corey's favorite things to do on the Tacoma.
All of this stuff from Morimoto is going to be plug and play on the Tacoma, so it should be pretty straightforward. The third brake light does have an option for a flash module. Unfortunately, we're not cool enough to have that for this install, but if you do want that, it's an option.
So when you purchase the headlights, you are going to have the option to get the correct wiring for either the factory LED harness or what we have, the halogen harness. Obviously, if you're upgrading from halogens, this is going to be a much larger impact. I did mention that the taillights are with the red lens. You also have a lens option for the taillight, which is a clear option.
No smoked?
No smoked. On the clear option though, the lens is clear, but all the plastic on the inside of the light is black. So it
Probably looks good.
It is blacked out much more than these OEM ones with all this chrome that's
Chrome and gray.
Yeah.
We're gonna start this install here at the back of the Tacoma. We're gonna get these factory taillights ripped out. This is pretty easy. And then we're gonna move to the front. We're gonna get these ones installed, and then I'll save my favorite for last, the third brake light.
I was gonna say, are you sure you don't just wanna do the brake light right now and just get it out of the way?
I don't wanna ruin my whole day.
All right.
All right, so to get the taillights out here on the Tacoma is very simple. We have two 10mm bolts that we need to take out. We got the one here at the top and the one here all the way at the bottom. Let's go ahead and get those removed. So with both of those bolts removed, the only thing holding the taillight in now is a couple of clips. So all you gotta do is pull the taillight straight out towards you to remove those clips. One at the top. There we go. Pull it out, and we'll go ahead and unplug these. So we got the taillight out. Now sometimes when you pop this out, the piece that's supposed to be staying in the metal itself on the bedside comes out with the light. So you can see we have this black piece here on the clip. We're gonna go ahead and remove that and reinstall it back here into the Tacoma. So with that popped off and a hole in my finger, we're gonna go ahead and just push that right back in. So we got the OEM one here, and we have the new one from Morimoto. So we have our new taillight over here. Put a rag down just so we don't scratch up the lens. We should just be able to plug and play all of these into our factory harness. There is a plug here at the top of the taillight that has an extra plug on it, and what this is for is if you want to switch it from sequential just to a regular turn signal. So we're going to leave it how it is. It should be set to sequential. We'll go ahead and test that a little bit later. Put that in there. All right, so we know the taillights are working. We'll go ahead and tuck all of our wiring in there. There's a little bit of extra wire, so make sure it doesn't get pinched. Get our pegs lined up, snap it in place, and we'll get those two bolts reinstalled. All right, be careful not to over tighten those bolts. This side's done. We'll go ahead and get the passenger side done. As you can see here, there is a huge difference between the new Morimoto ones and the factory ones. So with that, the taillights are now finished. Pretty simple install. We're gonna head up to the front of the Tacoma now. We're gonna get those factory headlights removed and get the new ones installed from Morimoto.
All right, Morimoto taillights are installed. Corey is getting ready to tear out these OEM headlights with those ugly halogen bulbs in there. We're replacing them with the XB headlights from Morimoto. We're putting a bunch of Baja Designs off-road lighting on this truck along with the Baja Designs fog lights. So we needed a high quality headlight to match those, and these Morimoto XBs are the perfect fit. How's it going? What do you got, pallets? Sick.
All right, so the first step to get these headlights out of the Tacoma is removing this grille. We've done this plenty of times. We have videos showing you how to do it. So if you're in the process or in the market to get a new grille for your Tacoma, you can click the link down below. There's a full install video down there. I'm gonna rip this out and then we can start getting the headlights removed. All right, so with our grille out of our way, now we need to work on the bumper. We don't have to remove the bumper completely, but we do need to take some of the bolts out here on the lower part of the fender flare, and then there are some clips that we're gonna have to pop out along here so that we can have access to the bolts for the headlights. We have one bolt under here, we got two bolts up here, and then you're gonna have a clip in the front as well. Turn them on. All right, taillights done, headlights done. We are going for lunch and then we are playing some disc golf. So tomorrow we'll take on the third brake light. Hey everyone, Corey here. Just wanted to chime in real quick to say that this was pretty much everyone's first time playing disc golf besides myself and Jared, but it definitely was nice to get out of the shop and be able to do something together that was a little bit different than our day-to-day activities.
That's the best one to
Everyone had a good time, even though some of the discs ended up in the field and in the water. You'll see Jared throw one into the field that he never does retrieve, and Andrew actually goes in the water to retrieve some of the discs that were thrown in there because he was the only one willing to get his feet wet.
come back.
That's gone.
Dude, I'm not gonna find that. Oh my gosh.
No, it's right in line with that.
But anyway, if you're enjoying this video, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button for more content. And remember, head over to the website to get entered into our Tacoma giveaway. Let's head back to the shop and get the rest of this Morimoto lighting installed. It's the next day. We had fun yesterday disc golfing. Some discs went into the water, some went into the field, and now we are back to finish up the lighting here on the Tacoma with the third brake light from Morimoto. Now, I don't know why Toyota changed the design of the third brake light from the second gen to the third gen. On the second gen, it takes literally 30 seconds to swap this out. It's a little bit more involved here on the third gen, but with this light from Morimoto, I think the work is gonna be worth it. So let's go ahead, get the factory one ripped out and get this one installed. All right, so now comes the fun part. If you pull back on the headliner, which you can only pull it back so much, you don't want to put a crease in it, and you look towards the inside of the hole where those hooks were, you can see a pretty decent sized hole that is ovaled. Inside that is where the stud is, and that's where we're gonna have to get the ratchet and socket in there to get those nuts out. They are either a 10 mil or an 8 mil nut. I'm not 100% sure, I forget. So we're gonna go ahead and try to get those out. So a lot of this you're gonna be doing blind. You're gonna have to just feel and get the socket over that stud. I just got it on there and got it cracked loose. It is, from what I can tell, a 10 mil. You can see I'm not really pulling the headliner down very far, and it is making a slight mark here. So you have to be very careful not to pull it too far and end up cracking the headliner. Once you get it cracked loose, you can get rid of the ratchet and socket, and you can just put your finger up in there and loosen it with your finger, which is nice. And if you do drop the nut, you can get it once the light is removed. You should be able to get the nut from there. Just like that, I just dropped it. Okay. This is just as fun as I remembered it. All right, so after trying multiple times and failing to get the socket on the nut, Jared said, let me try. And then he goes and drops the socket and extension down into the roof. So that's still in there, and we had to get a 3/8 drive socket and a very short extension. And we finally got it on there, and we got it broken free. So we'll have to retrieve that stuff once we get the light removed. Fun. So once you unthread the nut so far, there's a nice section that is just a stud that's not threaded that you can slide the nut on. It helps you get the nut started, and hopefully, well, as soon as that comes off the threads, it wants to slide down that and fall into the ceiling. So let me grab a magnet and see if I can get that out. Ah, got it. So, after many curse words later, and your wrist hurting, should be able to remove this light. Now it is also held in with some double-sided tape to seal this off, so we're gonna have to go ahead and get the trim prying tool. We're gonna work our way around this and get it detached from the body. Finally, unplug, and here's our socket and extension, and where's that other nut? There it is. So for reinstalling these nuts is going to be a little difficult. You're not going to be able to hold the nut and get it up in there in place. There's just not enough room. So I have the socket and I put a piece of tape in there, and now that'll hold the nut in place. It's not going to fall out. And then once you thread it on enough, you can pop it off, or you can just keep threading it and the stud will break through the tape and you can tighten it all the way down. Got one started. All right, that one is tight. Once you get it on there and started, use your fingers with the socket and ratchet and just thread it all the way down until it gets snug, and then you can get the ratchet on there and tighten it down the rest of the way.
This is a journey into sound. A journey which along the way will bring to you new color, new dimension, new value.
Now we can put the headliner back up.
Into sound. New dimension, new value.
All right, guys, that's going to be a wrap for all the Morimoto lighting here on the 3rd gen Tacoma. We got the headlights done, the taillights done, and that pesky 3rd brake light finally installed. We have a ton more to go on this Tacoma, so make sure to stay tuned to our YouTube, hit that subscribe button, and if you want to get entered to win this thing, head over to our website. Every $1 you spend is going to get you 1 entry, including anything from Morimoto. So with that being said, there's only one thing left to do, and that is to go outside in the dark and check out these lights.